Hello and welcome to FinLit Top 10s. In this video, we explore Retire Before Mom and Dad by Berger, a clear and approachable guide to financial independence. Berger argues that wealth isn't built through luck or complexity, but through small, consistent actions that compound over time. From mastering your savings rate to investing wisely, his lessons show how ordinary people can achieve extraordinary results. Join us as we count down the top 10 takeaways that can help you design a life of freedom long before traditional retirement age. Kicking off our countdown at number 10, start small, but start now. Berger insists that the greatest mistake people make with money is waiting. Waiting until they earn more, waiting until debts are gone, waiting until life feels less hectic. The truth is, the perfect moment never comes. And every month you delay is a month you lose the extraordinary power of compounding. Starting small is not a weakness, it's the key. Even putting aside just $25 or $50 each month creates momentum. Berger emphasizes that compounding doesn't judge the size of your contribution. It simply multiplies what you give it over time. Those modest deposits may feel insignificant in the moment, but decades later, they become the building blocks of financial freedom. The real magic lies in habit. When you start early, you're not just investing dollars, you're investing in your future behavior. Small, consistent actions build confidence, and confidence compounds just like money. By the time you're able to save more, the system is already in place to handle it. Berger's lesson is simple but profound. Don't wait for the stars to align. Start today with whatever you can. Even the smallest seed grows when it has time to take root. And in the world of financial independence, time is the soil where wealth truly flourishes. So instead of asking, "Is this enough?" ask yourself, "What can I start with now?" The answer, no matter how small, will always be better than nothing. Coming in at number 9, know the true power of compounding. Berger calls compounding the secret engine of wealth, the quiet force that works day and night to grow your money, even while you sleep. At its core, compounding means your money earns returns, and then those returns earn returns of their own. Over time, this snowball effect transforms modest savings into life-changing sums. The key, Berger stresses, is patience. In the early years, compounding feels slow and almost invisible. A few $100s may only turn into a few more, but as the years pass, growth accelerates. Suddenly, the interest you earn each year is larger than the total contributions you made in the beginning. That's when compounding reveals its true magic. Berger warns that many people sabotage themselves by interrupting the process, pulling money out too early, panicking during market dips, or failing to reinvest their gains. Compounding only works when given time and consistency. The longer your money stays invested, the more dramatic the growth becomes. To harness this power, Berger suggests automating investments, reinvesting dividends, and above all, staying the course. The lesson is clear. Wealth doesn't come from chasing quick wins or timing the market. It comes from allowing compounding to quietly work in your favor year after year. In the end, compounding is less about brilliance and more about discipline. Give it time, and it will turn ordinary savings into extraordinary freedom. At number 8, cutting expenses accelerates freedom. Berger explains that financial independence isn't only about how much you earn, it's about how much you need to live on. Every dollar you cut from expenses has a double effect. It frees up money you can save and invest today, and it permanently lowers the future income required to retire. Think of it in this way. If you spend $4,000 a month, you'll need a much larger nest egg to sustain your lifestyle than if you spend let's say $3,000. By trimming expenses, you shrink the target and speed up the timeline. This is why Berger says cutting costs is one of the fastest accelerators to freedom. He emphasizes that this doesn't mean stripping all joy from your life. It means identifying expenses that don't truly add value and redirecting them toward your goals. Cancel unused subscriptions, negotiate bills, cook at home more often, or downsize when it makes sense. Each choice compounds. Importantly, Berger recommends channeling those savings directly into investments or debt payoff, not just letting them vanish into everyday spending. Otherwise, the benefit disappears. The lesson is powerful. Increasing income helps, but controlling expenses guarantees progress. By lowering your financial burn rate, you make freedom easier to reach and far more sustainable once you have it. Sliding into number 7, we tackle one of the biggest traps: avoid lifestyle inflation. Rob Berger warns that as income rises, so does temptation. A promotion, a raise, or a bonus often leads to spending more. Nicer cars, bigger homes, fancier gadgets. This phenomenon, called lifestyle inflation, can silently devour the very wealth you're trying to build. Instead of moving closer to financial freedom, you remain trapped in the same cycle, just with more expensive bills. Berger emphasizes that the antidote is intentional living. When you earn more, resist the reflex to spend more. Direct the difference into savings and investments instead. That way, every raise accelerates your path to independence instead of resetting the clock. This doesn't mean living without joy. Berger is clear that financial independence isn't about austerity. It's about balance. Enjoy some of the rewards of your hard work, but make sure the bulk of new income goes toward buying your freedom. The power of avoiding lifestyle inflation lies in compounding progress. Each time you raise your savings rate rather than your expenses, you create a permanent gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap becomes the engine of wealth. Berger's lesson is simple. Don't let your lifestyle chase your income. Instead, let your savings chase your dreams. That discipline can shave years, sometimes decades, off your working life. At number 6, Berger reminds us to prepare for life's surprises. The importance of an emergency fund. Rob Berger stresses that even the best financial plan can be derailed by the unexpected. A sudden medical bill, a car repair, or a job loss can force people to turn to high-interest debt, undoing years of careful saving. That's why he insists on building an emergency fund as a cornerstone of financial independence. An emergency fund is simply a cash cushion set aside for life's inevitable surprises. Berger suggests starting small, perhaps $1,000, so you can handle immediate crises without panic. Over time, grow this fund to cover 3 to 6 months of living expenses. With that buffer in place, you can weather disruptions without selling investments or sliding into debt. The benefit isn't only financial, it's emotional. Knowing you have money set aside provides peace of mind. Money anxiety diminishes because you're no longer living on the edge, constantly vulnerable to the next setback. Berger also notes that this fund should be liquid and accessible, kept in a savings account or money market fund, not tied up in stocks or long-term investments. It's not about earning high returns, it's about being ready when you need it most. The emergency fund is a quiet hero in your financial plan. You may rarely use it, but its presence protects everything else you're building. Without it, one storm can wipe away years of progress. With it, you stay calm, resilient, and on course toward freedom. Halfway through our list, at number 5, master the basics of investing. Rob Berger makes it clear that building wealth doesn't require picking stocks, chasing hot tips, or spending hours analyzing the market. In fact, complexity is often the enemy. What truly works is mastering a few simple principles and sticking with them over the long term. At the core of Berger's approach is low-cost index fund investing. By buying broad-based funds, such as those tracking the S&P 500 or total stock market, you gain instant diversification and avoid the risks of betting on individual companies. Just as importantly, you keep costs low, because over decades, fees eat away at returns more than most people realize. Berger also emphasizes consistency. Investing small amounts regularly through retirement accounts, brokerage accounts, or employer plans harnesses the power of compounding. Market ups and downs are inevitable, but time in the market always beats trying to time the market. Staying invested is what allows compounding to work. For beginners, Berger suggests focusing on asset allocation, the mix of stocks, bonds, and cash that reflects your risk tolerance and goals. Keep it simple, automate contributions, and let time do the rest. The takeaway is the following: you don't need to outsmart Wall Street to retire early. You just need to understand the basics, stay disciplined, and avoid emotional mistakes. Simplicity, patience, and consistency will always beat complexity and guesswork. At number 4, Berger reframes what financial independence is really about: freedom, not just money. Rob Berger argues that financial independence is often misunderstood. It's not just about amassing a certain dollar amount or reaching some magic number on a spreadsheet. True financial independence is about reclaiming your time and your choices. Money, in this sense, is simply a tool, a means to design a life you actually want to live. Berger explains that when you're financially independent, you no longer make decisions based solely on income. You can choose to keep working if you love your job, shift to part-time, start a passion project, or spend more time with family. The freedom is the point, not the retirement itself. This perspective is liberating. Many people imagine early retirement as doing nothing, but Berger reframes it as doing what matters most. Financial independence provides flexibility, whether that's traveling, volunteering, or simply enjoying unstructured days without the pressure of a paycheck. Berger also cautions against defining success by others' standards. Freedom looks different for everyone. For some, it's living simply with modest expenses. For others, it's funding ambitious goals. What matters is alignment with your own values. The lesson is clear: don't chase money for its own sake. Chase the freedom it buys. When your finances give you control over your time, you've achieved the true purpose of financial independence. Taking the bronze at number 3, automate your wealth building. Rob Berger reminds us that willpower is unreliable, but systems are powerful. One of the simplest ways to remove money anxiety and ensure progress is to automate your financial plan. By putting savings and investments on autopilot, you turn wealth building into a background process that requires no constant decision-making. Automation works on multiple levels. Set up direct deposit so a portion of your paycheck goes straight into savings or investment accounts. Schedule automatic transfers to retirement plans or index funds each month. Automate bill payments to avoid late fees and protect your credit. Each system reduces friction and guarantees consistency. The benefit isn't just convenience, it's discipline without effort. Left on our own, we often spend first and save what's left. Automation flips that script, making saving the priority and spending the afterthought. This pay-yourself-first principle accelerates progress toward independence without relying on constant motivation. Berger notes that automation also protects you from emotional mistakes. In volatile markets, fear and greed tempt people to pause or stop investing. But when contributions are automated, you keep buying regardless of conditions. Therefore, you capture the long-term benefits of dollar-cost averaging. The lesson here is simple. Don't rely on willpower. Build a system that works even when you're distracted or tired. By automating wealth building, you create a quiet but unstoppable engine that moves you closer to financial freedom every single month. Our runner-up at number 2, your mindset shapes your future. Rob Berger emphasizes that financial independence begins not with numbers, but with belief. If you assume early retirement is impossible, every decision will reflect that mindset. You'll save less, invest inconsistently, and accept a lifetime of work as inevitable. But if you adopt the belief that financial freedom is within reach, your daily choices change, and over time, those choices compound into reality. Berger highlights that mindset is the lens through which you interpret challenges. Someone with a fixed outlook might see debt as a life sentence. Someone with a growth mindset sees it as a problem to solve and a lesson to carry forward. The circumstances are the same, but the response and the outcome are radically different. Cultivating the right mindset means surrounding yourself with positive financial influences. Books, podcasts, communities, and role models who prove financial independence is possible. It also means reframing setbacks as temporary, not defining. Each dollar saved or invested becomes evidence that you are moving closer to your goals. This principle matters because money habits are emotional before they are mathematical. Belief fuels discipline. Discipline fuels progress. When you shift your mindset from doubt to determination, you build momentum that no market fluctuation can undo. The message is clear. Your financial future is written in your thoughts before it's written in your accounts. Believe in the possibility of freedom, and you'll act in ways that make it inevitable. And finally, claiming the top spot at number 1, your savings rate is the biggest predictor of early retirement. Rob Berger makes it clear, no single factor matters more to your financial independence than your savings rate. While compounding, investing, and mindset all play essential roles, it's the percentage of your income you consistently save and invest that determines how quickly you can retire. The math is straightforward. The more you save, the less you need to fund your lifestyle, and the faster you can reach freedom. For example, if you save 10% of your income, financial independence may take decades. But increase that to 30%, 40%, or even 50%, and the timeline shrinks dramatically. High earners may be able to push their rate further, but even modest incomes can accelerate progress by prioritizing savings over lifestyle expansion. Berger emphasizes that this isn't about deprivation. It's about making intentional choices, living below your means so you can direct resources toward your future. Each percentage point gained on your savings rate is like shaving years off your working life. This principle also works hand in hand with others. Avoiding lifestyle inflation, automating contributions, and building efficient systems all support a higher savings rate. The message couldn't be clearer. If you want to retire before mom and dad, focus relentlessly on your savings rate. It's the lever that gives you control over time, freedom, and the life you want to design. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Rob Berger's Retire Before Mom and Dad. His message is clear. Financial independence isn't about being extraordinary, it's about being consistent. True wealth is built not through luck or complicated strategies, but through small, repeatable habits that compound over time. The path is within reach for anyone willing to act intentionally. It begins with a choice to start now to live below your means and to allow compounding to quietly do its work in the background. With consistency and patience, you can design a life of freedom, flexibility, and purpose, long before the traditional retirement age arrives. We hope this countdown has encouraged you to reflect on your own path. Are you starting small but consistent? Are you letting compounding work its quiet magic? Each of these steps brings you closer to living a life where work becomes optional and choice becomes your greatest asset. If you found value in today's video, we invite you to subscribe to FinLit Top 10s for more thoughtful explorations of financial classics and modern guides alike. Don't forget to like this video, share it with a friend who's pursuing financial freedom, and drop a comment below. Which of Berger's lessons resonates with you most, and how will you apply it? Until next time, keep saving, keep learning, and keep building the foundation for a life of freedom, long before traditional retirement age. Cheers.